Hey guys, welcome back to episode 5 of the custom K100 build. Today we're going to clean off 30 years worth of road grime from the engine, test out my new ultrasonic parts cleaner, prep the tank and engine covers for paint, and at the end we're going to take a look at some of the goodies that came in the mail. So, contrary to what I found in the last episode, for cleaning grime off the engine, I found the best thing to use was actually engine degreaser. The issue with the brake cleaner was just that it evaporated too quickly. I preferred the engine degreaser because it would just pool up and it would let me scrub a lot more. Also, contrary to last episode, I found that the nylon brush and toothbrushes were really good at getting in there and taking off grime. Make sure you have some good ventilation when you're using aerosolized chemicals. My nose and throat started to burn and I realized I should probably crack the garage door open. I was really yarding on these airbox bolts, but they wouldn't budge. I hit them with a little bit of penetrating oil and let it sit for 2 minutes, and then they broke loose pretty easily. got the rear hub off and it's super heavy, but it's kind of cool. You can see the shaft drive turns this spindle and turns the rear wheel. The engine is looking worlds better than when I started. Not completely there, but in a future episode, I'll get it all the way across the finish line and paint the whole block gloss black. For now, I'm going to pop off the engine covers and prep them to get powder coated. Obviously the powder coater is going to redo all the masking, but I just wanted it to be very clear which parts I wanted painted and which parts I wanted masked. Okay, the crankcase and the valve cover are reasonably prepped. I'm going to take them to the painter tomorrow and we should have them here soon. So I'm also pretty much prepped up with the tank here to take it to the painter. I removed the cap and some of the tank pads, and I'm not going to do much beyond that because they're going to prep it and sandblast it and get it all ready for paint. I'm really excited to see how this thing turns out. This is sort of the biggest painted part on the bike, and I think it's going to look awesome. I spent about a half hour at the paint shop just flipping through hundreds of different silver paint chips until I found one that I liked. I've gone back and forth a million times in my head trying to decide on what color I wanted to paint the tank. But I keep coming back to silver. It's a classic BMW color, it's reserved, and it shows off the form of the tank really well. So I finally pulled the trigger on a Mazda Sunlight Silver that had a decent amount of flake and lots of travel. So I took the engine covers to California Powder Coating, who has really good references from a custom bike builder friend of mine. I met with the owner, Ben Schloss, and described the project. I told him I wanted these to be show quality parts, and his shop is pretty backed up right now, so it looks like it's going to take about 2 weeks to get the parts done. Then I took the tank to Kurt at Laguna Auto Body. Kurt has a really impressive portfolio of show quality paint jobs he's done on cars, so I felt really confident leaving the tank with him. It's going to be difficult to wait 2 weeks to see how these things turn out, but look for them in the next episode. So, I picked up this ultrasonic cleaner from Amazon. It had okay reviews, so I'm curious to see how it works, but basically I needed to pick one up because I have a million little bolts and pieces of hardware that are covered in rust, and there's no way I'm going to go through and clean each one individually. The way this thing works is basically it uses ultrasonic transducers that vibrate the liquid inside at a high frequency and cause tiny little bubbles to cavitate and clean microscopic surfaces on each piece of hardware. So I'm really excited to see how this thing works, and I think it's going to save me a ton of time. To give you a sense of sort of the quality we're working with here, it says, "Do not use this unit when the tank is not to fill the water." So needless to say, I don't have the highest hopes for it, but I do think it's going to help out. So I'm going to fill my ultrasonic cleaner with a little bit of simple green. I read online that that was pretty effective, so I'm going to try that. I'm going to run a little test tonight, and first parts I'm going to try are the crankcase and valve cover bolts. They're pretty grimy and they've got a bit of rust and oxidation and just general road grime. So to give you a quick before and after, here's the bolt as it came off the bike. You can see quite a bit of oxidation and rust. Okay, so the manual recommended to set this to anywhere between 40 and 60 C, so I'm going to go ahead and just try 50 for the first test. This is the thermostat you set, and then here's the actual temp right now, so I think it's going to take a while to come up to temperature. And then you can set a timer for how long you actually want the ultrasonic cleaning to occur, and it says not to run the machine for over an hour at a time, so I'm going to try 30 minutes to start. So it's been about an hour and we're still not up to 50 degrees C. We're at 42, but I think that's good enough, so I'm going to go ahead and run the parts. Oh, that makes a horrible noise. This is amazing, you guys. So I came in to check on the parts after about 25 minutes and found that the cleaner was completely turned off. Not only is it off, it is completely broken. It lasted a grand total of 20 minutes. I'm plugging it in and replugging it. Nothing comes on. It's broken. But I'm going to check on the parts anyway and see how they did after 20 minutes. That actually did a really nice job in only 20 minutes or so. It even cleaned the rubber gaskets here. That's a fucking bummer that it's broken, because that worked really well. I'll give you a close-up on the bolts here. So basically, the manufacturer that made this thing. There's clearly no quality control. But Amazon refunded me, so I'm going to send this thing back and then look for a decent quality one online. Because now that I've seen what an ultrasonic cleaner is capable of, I think I can't really live without one. So aside from the Cognito Moto triple tree, everything that I ordered in the last episode arrived, so I got to tear into the boxes and look at the new hardware. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to like or subscribe, and as always, thank you for leaving comments. The next episode is going to be awesome because we're going to get some painted parts back, we'll get the Cognito Moto triple tree, and I'll do a mock assembly of the front end.